We're gonna start seated on a chair. Make sure it's a hard, flat surface. And I'm gonna start sitting down with you, but I'll stand up so you can see my body better. But just sit nice and tall at the edge of your chair. Your feet are flat on the floor. And place your hands on your pelvis. And just rock your pelvis under in a slight tuck. And then roll your pelvis forward in a slight arch. And just notice how your sit bones shift on the chair. And a lot of us tend to round the pelvis under and hunch like this, and it can get very uncomfortable after a while. So we're just massaging the spine. Find that neutral position in between the tuck and the tilt. And place your hands on your low belly. Just start breathing in through your nose and out through your nose very gently. You can close your eyes. Well, you can't, you're watching me. But eventually you can close your eyes and just feel that expansion. As you're there, make sure you're not moving your pelvis in that rock. You're in that neutral position with that low back arch. And you're just breathing low in your body. Now place your hands on your side rib cage. Breathe laterally as you inhale, and you'll notice it widens. And then as you exhale, your ribs sink and soften inward. Breathe in. Exhale, let it go. One more time. As you exhale next time, feel as though you're lengthening out of your tail and your sit bones are driving down into the chair. Place your hands on your back ribs. Breathe into those hands and soften. Especially if you tend to let your ribs flare, really get into this. Some of us are the opposite, where you want to find a little bit more length. But especially if you feel tight in a specific area as you breathe, just notice that, and you might need to breathe in there a little bit more. Now let's add all three of those, the belly, the side, and the back breath. Breathe gently in. And notice as you exhale, make sure it's not too much effort where you round because you're really pulling in with those front abdominals. It's subtle, you're narrowing in and up. Then focus on a little bit more of the back sacral area as you inhale. As you exhale, the front and back body narrow in and lift up. Keep going. So the core is not just the six-pack muscles. It's all around in your torso and your pelvis. And we want everything working together to find length. Make sure you're driving your sit bones down as you lengthen your torso up out of your pelvis. Okay, so let's get into some stretching. Place your right leg in front. Left leg is bent. Use your arms to lengthen your spine up in that neutral curve. And hinge front in your pelvis and hinge back up. Make sure this is not the rounded back position, then you're gonna get out of the stretch we want. So we want you to feel this in that high hamstring area. As you hinge front, curl the right toes towards your shins. As you go upright, lower those toes towards the floor. Lengthen to hinge. So think about 10 times for reps. If that's too much of a stretch, you can just go really, really small. You could also bend the knee slightly, but remember, we want that high hamstring feeling right into that glute fold. Switch sides. I'm not the best counter, so just use this video as an idea of what you can do to make yourself feel better. Hinge front. So again, you're finding that length, you're finding that hamstring stretch, because that will allow you to sit higher and out of that round tuck position. Use your breath. Notice if one side feels tighter. Enough of that. Now place your right leg over your left for piriformis stretch. Again, find that length. Anchor those sit bones down. Drive the right knee towards the floor. That might be enough stretch for you. Do not stretch by rounding. Instability in the sacrum. Find that lift of the sacrum and hinge front. And you can rock back and forth. I tend to like more active stretching Before working out, I like passive stretching where you hold a position towards the end of the day when you know you're not going to be as active. And we want to feel that stretch in this outer pocket. And switch sides, set yourself up, find that length in your torso. Hinge front, drive the left knee down, right back up. Breathe into the part of your body that holds the tension. As you exhale, try to let some of it go. And let's do one more. Let's open up your chest. So place your feet back down, find that neutral spine. Reach your arms in front. Curl your fingers towards your forearms and reach those arms behind you. I'm going to let your ribs flare. Let's just get some movement. Bring those fingers front and round and hollow out. Pull the fingers back. And notice as you're doing this, your sit bones are rocking and rolling on the chair. Now let's be a little more still. Keep your pelvis quiet. Keep your ribs from flaring and open your arms behind you. And you might feel more of a stretch in your pecs. And release. And exhale. One more. And release. Sit there and just hang out for a moment. Close your eyes. Feel your sit bones shooting down to the floor, that abdominal lift and sacrum lift. Feel your eyeballs sink into the back of your head. And feel the roof of your mouth just over your diaphragm, over the center of your body. This is active work to be in a posture where you're using your core, you're aware, and then slump again into what feels easy and maybe your happy place. And then drive back into that neutral spine, which is effort. And go back to that three-dimensional breath where you're breathing into your belly, your side, and your back ribs. And each exhalation, you're growing. So your pelvis is sinking below you. Your spine is lengthening towards the crown of your head. And just pause in that position. And try to add that in your daily life. I know it's hard when you're at your desk or you're at the couch, but this is just a way to stretch your body, get back to your breath, and feel a little more centered.